I've noticed as I get older, the people I used to talk to about philosophy and just, I don't even like calling it that, just whatever, talking for hours and hours, and it inherently gets philosophical when you do that. I noticed that I'm not able to do that as much with them anymore, and I don't know if it's because we all, don't smoke weed as much or whatever it is, but now I notice that the only time it happens is like when there's a problem in one of their lives and they want to talk about it, and it inherently gets deep. And it's just sad that when we become adults, philosophy only emerges when we want to problem solve rather than when we're just curious and wandering and exploring. And I was talking to my buddy about it, and I think he made a really great point. He said that, when we're young and we're kids, we don't have to worry about survival or the way that we're perceived or our egos, And like that's kind of a two-faceted thing when you're a kid. Like, you're not worried about what people think of you as much, especially younger when you're really like a baby, like my profile picture. And you don't have to worry about surviving because your parents are kind of taking care of all that for you. So it like frees up the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy, and it lets you flow more easily, and especially if you're not distracted with nonsense, like playing video games or TikTok all day. But now when we get older and those serious parts of life return or emerge, it sucks, that it can take away from people wanting to be philosophical. And it's just a sad thing I've seen. And I think even people, when they get a lot of money, now the ego thing comes, and now they're like worried about how they're being perceived, or they're so popular that it changes how they look at themselves, and they can't handle feeling uncomfortable, because when you realize you're wrong, it's very uncomfortable. And if you're spoiled and constantly admired and full of fucking yes men all the time, then it's hard to feel uncomfortable, a little bit more difficult than when we were young. And it's just, gosh, it's like every path I see, it's so easy to fall back into this. Like, even if you're rich and you get all the money, you can fall back into this. Or if you're poor and you're trying to survive, you can fall into it. Like, there's this sweet spot, and it sucks, but maybe that's why it's so rare and so valuable. And it really just makes me think that childhood, in some senses, really are the golden days, because like it's almost like we're that way by default, and then the rest of our life is just trying to get back to that point of flow while still being an adult. Maybe that's what enlightenment really is at the end of the day, or at least a huge part of it beyond the divinity and all.